Hello and welcome. Art and creativity have always been the most powerful ways to express ourselves. Today, I'd like to dive into the concept of a soul language in art and creativity. And this isn't just about what we create with our hands, but what we express from the depths of our being. Art has this incredible ability to connect us to something larger than ourselves. When we sit down to create, we're not just manipulating materials or following a set of rules. Often we're channeling something deeper, something intangible that's difficult to define with words. That's what many refer to as a soul language. It's the language of our deepest emotions, experiences, and truths. What does it mean to channel something intangible? It's that moment when you're creating and suddenly it feels like the work is flowing through you rather than from you. In these moments, what you're expressing isn't just your mind's interpretation or a technical skill. It's your innermost being, your soul, communicating through the medium in front of you. Okay, so think about it like this. Every person carries a reservoir of emotions, experiences, memories, inner truths, and they're often difficult to put these into words, right? These could be moments of joy, loss, love, pain, or even the vastness of what it means to be human. The depth of these experiences creates a kind of inner language, your soul language. Some of the most powerful works of art are the ones that leave us feeling something we can't quite explain. We might not be able to put into words why a certain painting moves us or why a piece of music gives us the chills. It's because the artist has expressed something that transcends logic and it speaks directly to our inner world. A piece of music can make you feel happy. A sculpture could leave you in awe. An artwork can make you cry. A few weeks ago, when I was at the Gauguin exhibition, I was drawn to this artwork. It was called The Swineherd Brittany, and it was painted in 1888. I wasn't familiar with this artwork, and it stood out in the room, and it just drew me towards it. So when everyone around me moved away and I was there on my own in front of the painting, I started to feel really emotional and I had tears in my eyes and I felt like I was about to start bawling. But it wasn't in sadness. It was overwhelming happiness or relief. Like I was so happy to have finally found my home, a place where I felt comfortable, free, and happy and creative. And that's what I was picking up from the painting. Now, I have to admit to you something that you don't know about me. I'll only touch on it quite briefly right now. But as well as being an artist, I'm also a spiritual medium and I've worked for many years to sharpen my intuitive and psychic abilities. I had the incredible opportunity to study at the Arthur Findlay College in Stansted, England, about 7 years ago, more than once, and I was trained in mediumship as well as drawing the portraits of the spirit communicators, which is, well, it's an amazing challenge and a great privilege all rolled into one, but that's a whole other story. So anyway, when I picked up something as strong as I did in front of Gauguin's painting, I trust in those feelings and I just let them flow. And this is another reason why it's so important to see original art, as you can never get those emotions from a reproduction or just a photo printed in a book. So anyway, I looked up the painting when I got home. Gauguin had travelled to Brittany in the north of France, which was where this painting was painted. He went there to find a more simple, primitive culture and way of life. He really just needed to get away from the hustle and bustle of Paris. Writing to a friend, Gauguin expressed that he really loved Brittany and he produced a lot of art during his visits there. So it's clear that on a soul level, he had found a deep connection to the region, the simple rural way of life, and that fueled his creativity. And that's what I felt in the painting. So that was really, really lovely. So art really becomes a bridge between the inner and the outer worlds. It takes what's deeply personal and intangible, like emotions, dreams, traumas, hopes, and it translates those into something we can share with others. And even if the viewer or the listener can't fully understand the work, they can feel it. Many artists talk about losing themselves in the process of creation, almost as if they become a vessel for something greater than themselves. And this is the magic of the soul language at work. When you stop trying to control the process, when you let go of the need to make something perfect or understood, you create space for your soul to speak. And this doesn't just apply to visual art. Dancers, musicians, writers, all creatives can tap into this soul language. The dancer's body becomes the instrument for expressing emotions they might not even be able to name. The musician's melodies, they carry emotions far beyond the notes on the page. And the writer weaves a story that resonates not because of the words, but because of the truth behind them. When you tap into your soul language, you're creating not just for yourself, but for anyone who might connect with the emotional truth that you're sharing. While many people may interpret your work differently, they'll feel the authenticity behind it. It's this intangible, raw connection that's what makes art so transformative, both for the artist and the audience. When we talk about art as a form of soul language, we're talking about more than just talent or skill. We're talking about authenticity. The most powerful art isn't always the most technically perfect. It's the work that feels real. It's the work where you can sense the artist's heart, their spirit coming through. So how do we tap into this soul language when we create? The key is to be vulnerable. It's about letting go of the need to be perfect or to make something that others will understand right away. It's about trusting that your inner self, your soul, has something to say and allowing it to speak through your work. When you're in that flow state, when you're so immersed in your craft that time seems to stop, that's when your soul language is most alive. You're no longer just making something, you're communicating directly from the core of who you are. To enter the flow state, it's important to let go of perfectionism and the fear of being judged and allowing your intuition to guide you. Start by creating a space where you feel comfortable and free without external pressures or any expectations. Set aside time to immerse yourself in the work without interruptions and focus on the feeling of creating rather than the outcome. Trust the natural rhythm of your inspiration and give yourself permission to follow whatever ideas or impulses may come up, no matter how abstract or unconventional. Once you're in this flow state, you'll find that the creative process becomes more fluid, as if you're channeling something beyond yourself. In this space, your art reflects your deepest emotions and truths, often without conscious effort. You can strengthen this connection by meditating to quieten the mind, or do some warm-up exercises that help you loosen up and just let go of what's in your mind. So whether it's painting, writing, or music, the key is to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to trust that your soul knows what it wants to express and to follow that instinct. Some art, like abstract painting or instrumental music, it might not even have a clear literal meaning, but that's the beauty of soul language. It's felt, it's not explained. It's an emotional and a spiritual experience, both for the creator and the audience. And that's why certain works of art can move us so deeply. It's like our souls are responding to the artist's soul language. We may not fully understand it intellectually, but we feel it. So, next time you create or even experience a piece of art, remember this: you're tapping into something much larger than just the materials in front of you. You're connecting with a deeper part of yourself and maybe even with others through a language that transcends words. Thank you for sharing this journey into the soul language of art and creativity. Whether you're an artist or just someone who loves to experience art, never forget that creativity is one of the most powerful ways we can communicate our truest selves. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to. It would really help my channel grow as I'm just starting out on this YouTube journey. I'd also like to invite you to leave any comments or feedback below to get a discussion started about your feelings on this topic. Thank you so much for watching. I'm truly grateful for your time and attention, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye for now.